Good afternoon, good morning. Hope everyone's well. I'm just messing about at the moment, but we will get there. Here's the one I finished earlier. Hello, Pam. Right, so people on YouTube and on Facebook, lesson 2, where I finished you with this uncompleted, and it's gone very different now, isn't it? It's like I can see all sorts of like, and in the end, I really think it looked like the Madonna, but a pregnant one. I didn't aim for that. I just think sometimes you have to let it go the way it wants. Hello, Jenny. Hi, Karen. Oh, Emma. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah, Karen, thank you for your help the other day at the monastery. That's brilliant. I'm not telling you off, but it really, if you're coming to do work with me, you shouldn't be tidying up. But I really do appreciate it, because sometimes it's hard to do it on your own. But I have managed to go. I went in yesterday morning and had a word with Joe, and I've managed to sort out all my materials and my cupboard. So yeah, I've got space. Yay! So anyway, thank you. I'm just trying to do my hair. It's sort of, you get a messy bun and then you get it slipping down your back bun, don't you? And I can't do it. Look, it's stuck. Give me an hour. How does it get like? I don't know what I do to get it like this. I must writhe around in bed. No, don't do out like that. Before anyone thinks it. I can't be asked. Shop shut. Blinds are down. Nobody's there. Ow! What's going on with it? Look, I've had this before. Bear with me, anybody who's watching. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this out of my head so I can put it in again. You don't want to come out. Oh, it's so silly. You know, those on them, those. Right. Anyway, so last week, to recap, we did some great work with our Klimt, where we were looking at his work, and we did different pieces on it. And I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. So this week, I thought we're going to go collage big. And I really want to try more work with this idea. So what I did was I put a picture up for you. Jamila! Oh, your work was amazing. I'm glad to see people are on YouTube. Thank you. And the people who maybe don't know what's going on, maybe I'm just going to switch over and see if I can see anybody. Right. I can't see anybody on the other ones, but here. So anyway, I got my phone. So I'm just doing it here. And I went on. And I went on to see what I could find, and I went on and I got loads of images, but I need ones that sort of resonate with me and what I'm going to take further. So bear with me while I get this up for you. So it should be here. I've only just looked at it. As always, never there when you need it, isn't it? And I really love the Tree of Life. You have to be careful because it's been done to death. And I really liked it for what I thought was good for me. So so this is what I looked for, the Tree of Life, Klimt. And it has been done to death. But a lot of people see this version, and this is only a clip. That clip is just a section of it because it's a lot bigger. And it includes male and female figure in it. So I like the idea of just section in that, because we've done the lady, doing a man and all that, but I like these, right? Because I think these are really important, and I love the way this pattern forms on them, and I think that for us would be a great starting point. Oh, hi, Dawn. So we've got the paler one, which you can't see, and then the darker one, and there's some strange things hanging around in there. So yeah, very much. What's this one? Oh, this is for young grades in school, but you can see why you could sort of get your own ideas with this and get it going. So this is interesting. Paint along. So I can't really show much on here because I'll get in trouble, but maybe that'd be something to look at. Oh, go away. Ugh. Right, I'm not watching it. So Tree of Life for beginners. So that's something to look at. Anyway, this was the finished one of the girl, and she does to me look very maternal, and I really liked that because I thought, well, I didn't mean that to happen. They grow. Sorry, no pun intended. So this, right, this is true. This ready? I picked the bag up, right, and it had all these bits in, and I thought, ooh, right, I'm going to use bits. I'm going to use collage and bits, and I was like, but I need to do some work on it. I need to do some work to show people what I'm going to be doing. So I looked at his Tree of Life, which is also on there, and I came up with my little pleat, my little sliders, because I like these. So I came up with quilling as well. So some patterns that he did with text, cutting strips. There's no thingy to this. You don't need any experience or anything. So the quilling, I love doing. I've done it years and years ago, and I thought, oh right. And I was trying my best to get these lines. I could not do it. So then I thought, why don't I stamp with these quills? Why don't I? So this is what this is. So I've got that same shape. I've gone over it in pen to show you. But I've actually just got one like that, dipped it in my paint, plonk. So what have I done? I've created strips and strips and coils, and I'll be right with you to show them. It's dead easy. And if you've got a quilling tool, if not, I've put a link on the side there what's got it all on. So I've been quilling till whatever. I've done loads of little strips. I've done them in different sizes. So we've got a couple of mil, 3 mil. That looks like a 3 or 5 mil actually, and this might be a 2 or a 3 mil. So, and I've undone some of them so they're not as full. So then I thought I'm going to do my own version. So I did this. So, oh, have you, Emma? Glynis? Yeah. So these are old skills we've had, and I've drawn inside it, which is hard to see. But oh, sorry, it's clicky. This is what I made on Tuesday. Sold it and everything on links. So pleased with that's the one I made before with Claire MacDonald. I can't recommend her enough. It is a bit of a drive for me, but this is all hand done and absolutely love it. She's a great teacher, and I'm definitely going to make another one. And these match my rings that I've made. So can you see how they match? Anyway, you don't want to know all that crap here. So I thought, right, well, what can we do? So I had a little experiment. I thought, we can use these, can't we? We can use that. Chopstick. Now I have got that Sizzix quilling tool. Needs a bit of a clean that. Well, it's not that, it won't open that. But yeah, I've used that. I've got some text paper in here. and some black pack. And I'm going to need a pair of tweezers. And I found that, because it's a little bit bigger than that one. That's a chopstick, and that's an air stick. Oh, watch your back. Vicky! Yes, Biograph. Vicky sent me a link, and I sent her a little voicemail, because it just makes my heart sing to think that, you know, people are going around and going, oh, look at that. It looks like Klimt. It's just amazing. So these could be used when you're doing a tight one to let it, what you do is you glue it. Well, no, you don't. You let it ring, ding, 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 and it all comes undone, and it just fits in there, and you can do whatever size you want. Isn't that a good idea? Isn't that a good idea? Do you know, I'm full of it. And then I thought, what we used to do at school was spills. We used to make spills. Now, that one's been done wrong because the line is glued there, so it wouldn't really be, you can still use it, doesn't matter. And this one's been done right, and you can see it. Now, when we used to do them, we used to do these for building. We used to make these to build in school. So we'd put that. You have a thin end and a fat end. But I might have two thin ends on this one because it's a bit dodgy. But you just put one end in the other and wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it, and then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And that is super strong. And you can make all sorts. And then it sort of stops where it matches that perfectly. It matches that width. So we used to do paper spills, but you can cut them up into spirals. It's dead easy to do. So I'm going to give you a little demo on that first, and then we're going to go for it. Is that all right with you? I hope you like these ideas so far. Oh, you need paint as well, a little bit of paint and some coloured papers. Right, so you get a piece of newspaper. Now, I'm only going to do half of it because you won't see it, the other half, on the screen, so that's why. So there is a way of getting it going at the in fact, I'll do it that in the middle. There's a way of getting it going, and it's really hard work if you don't know how. So the way I found that's easy is get your chopstick, bend your bit of paper. It has to be pointing towards the opposite end. So I'm pointing that way to get me to the opposite end. You might already know how to make these, but the paper spills are amazing. And I'm just going to roll it over pretty tight. Now, you won't get it first time. If you do, brilliant. If you don't, like me, you're just manipulating the paper. Now, I'm going to go straight off. So I'm going to tuck that in. Get in, your little so-and-so. Right, here we go. So I'm going to do that. And I can feel it's going too far that way. So I'll pull it back. Take that out. And now I've got the, for God's sake, now I've got this going. I can just sort of, you feel it. You want it pretty tight. You just roll your fingers on it. Keep rolling. Don't let it go because it'll ping. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. And if it's too slack, go back. And every time that you do this, you get better and better. Can you see how it's now going to the middle? And you need to glue it. Now, what I tend to do, I'll show you that again. So can you see how round it is now because I've gone with the quill? You need this bit as tight as possible, and then as soon as you go, you just let your fingers roll it, and now it's much tighter, and you're aiming for the opposite corner. Now, if you go a little bit peak tongue, don't worry, because you can pull it back in. So I tend to get on a roll like that, and then it just goes pretty fast. So I'm just going to go from the top. No, I've just unbugged this. Oh, you bum. Do you know, I've unbunged it once. Bum. Anyway, let's see. Right. I'll throw something at this in a minute. Because if I do it with this, I can't use my glue, can I? I can't use my thing if it gets glue on it. I'll try again. Clean that off. Yay. Right. So you need, all I do is just a little bit like that, not too much, and then I blend it out. And this is that high tack glue from Penta. It's pretty good. And I'm just putting it. Now you can use anything you want. Most people don't use this much glue, but if I'm going to cut it like I'm going to show you, I'm going to need it. So there's our paper spill. And they used to use these for lighting as well because they've got a lot of paper in them. They burn a lot longer. So paper spill, well, what do we do with a paper spill? Well, here's the thing. The reason, let me just clean this because I know it's going to be cruddy if I don't. So just get you, this is a Sizzix one. But I put a kit there and I think it's £13. It's an affiliate link. And you've got like 19 pieces and 900 pieces of paper. I think it's a really good little kit. And it's got all the tools you need, all the guides and everything. So, you know, like you've got all this in it. It's a really good kit. Yeah, they are firelighters. That's what they are. But they're great for but we don't use newspapers much, but they're great for building. And like I said, this, because about the weak at the ends, I'll just show you again. This at the ends is weak, but once you do that, that is solid because it goes into it as much as it should. So it's solid now. So you see? Love it, love it, love it, love it. So we've got, I couldn't even undo it then. So we've got our glue ready. Right, just get your lid on before it goes. And this is a tacky express glue, so it's pretty good. So a spill, what can you do with it? Well, you can cut it up. You can take your scissors and cut it up. And you do need a good, you know, a strong pair of scissors. I'm using my Tim Holtz ones because I know they're going to do it. Now you'll get to a part and it's a little bit, I'll show you what I mean. And it's a little bit too thin. But it doesn't matter because you can change the shape. So you cut them up. You see? Right. These are coming undone. So that's why you need to glue it on that edge. But then just put a little bit of glue there. And what you can do is, I need more glue on mine. I've not put enough on. You can roll them back up. It's easy to roll them back up. And you can get all sorts of shapes. But you can keep them into coils. And my advice for doing that is make sure that you cut it where the glue is. You'll see as we go along. But just, and then you'll get that shape. Let me just bend it. Can you see? Get some good coil there. So we've got spills. And you can see the difference. They're all straight there. One is half. That one's pretty solid in the middle, but it's very thin there. And that one's a lot better rolled. Okay. Oh, right. I've got a paper cutter and I've got this. So I've shown you how to do it. Just a few bits and bobs what I've got. My homework that I did to see how I could adapt it on some spills. So everything I need is there. Carol, I don't know where you're going, but on YouTube it's there, and on Facebook I'm on, and I'm on Facebook on my own page. Now there should be a link that's come up to say I'm there in the group because I've redone it all. So hi Carol, what I would do, Carol, is just go to the Facebook link each time. Don't worry about anything else, honestly. I know you're not greatly confident on stuff, with you know, technology, but it really is. I've done it as easy as it can because Facebook groups will not be they are not allowed with StreamYard unless you do it like the backdoor method. So I do apologize, but it's out of my control. It really is. So okay, so let's look at this. This is important. So I've got some coloured papers that I've cut, and I've got, to me, I need a pretty strong piece of card or like board, and I mean a tag would be great for this, to do this on. So that's why I've chosen that. Or you could do anything you wanted. You know, you could put it on a, oh, I remember doing that. Could put it on a circle. So you don't need to do it on a tag at all. I'm just going to show you what one way of doing it. So we get a bit of paint. I'm using gold because, well, Klimt to it. So, oh, there we go. Got a blob of gold. Now, bit too much there, but never mind. Why change a habit of a lifetime? So I'm going to try with, let's try this one. Okay. So I've got this one, and I'm just going to get me if you haven't got a quilling tool, just get anything like a knitting needle, crochet needle, just twist it on it, and then undo it, and it'll sort of go in a nice curve. Now this is the first one, so it might be well if there, but let me try it on here. But we're getting it, look. So don't do that what I've just done. Squash it. Where's the other one? There it is. So what I did was I found that the really strong paper worked better because the other stuff, I'm heavy-handed with it to get a print, and all it did was buckle. So I got this, and I did. So I'm just trying to think. It sort of went along like that. So I'll show you what I mean. The pattern of the trees, they sort of go out from each other like that. They sort of join, and then Jackie, don't worry. So can you see how? And if you get that pretty strong card, I'm using Fabriano, you've got a great shape. Now, while it's still wet, we'll try this side, which is slightly different. So, and if you don't like this effect, that's fine. You can draw over it. Isn't that a good idea? Aren't I clever, eh? Hi, Denise! So, look at that. Bobby Dazzler! So, isn't that a good idea? I'm going to have to take this off, aren't I? Because I know I can imagine it's doing everyone's head in. Anyway, I can't take it off at the moment. Let me just see if I can get it off here. So I'm right-handed. It's, but I'm both-handed. Yeah, got it off. There you go. So you can see it's a gold paint, and it's quite nice to smudge it. Now, if you've got a problem, say you've got all this wonderful stuff, and you have got tons of paper, but you haven't got any gold, it doesn't matter, because what you can do is the paint will make it gold, or you paint a piece of paper gold and do it that way. What I did with some of these is I drew spirals on them and then cut them up. Yeah, so I wanted to show you that because I haven't seen it anywhere else. It's not like I'm gone and nicked it off somebody, but I'm pretty certain that I won't be the only one who's done it. Do you know what I mean? But you can see how you've got that Fibonacci like the nautilus shell. A third, and a third. So I thought, let's have a look at ways of. You could use it. I'm only using paint because it's there. Do you know what I mean? It's not. You can use an ink pad if you want, but I didn't have one to hand, so I didn't. So I've got this. I've got a tag. I wasn't going to use a tag, but it's here now, and I think this will work perfectly. Okay, or will it? Should I use paper instead? Saving that. Oh, the other thing is, if you've got any foils, use them. Now, those people who don't know how I made these, let me show you. You can get strips of paper. Most places have them. I love this tool. Actually, don't use nothing else, actually. And I use this, and I do it at 1/4 and, oh no, 1/8 and 1/4. So I get strips of old paper. Some, like this black card, will obviously be harder to cut, but it holds its shape. And I just go one. I've just ordered some 3mm. So just cut it. Now, when I was doing it, I thought that's all well and done and whatever. But what happens if I want a shape to marry up with the shape? What happens if I want it to look a certain shape and whatever? Got different sizes, which is good. And that's why I came up with this. I thought, you know, you could keep this on or take it off at the end, so it's sort of like a guide to it. You know, if I wanted to, I'd take that off. But it's actually attached, but you can easily change it if you want. So if I wanted to change the shape on that, I could do. But what I did to do this, I'll show you what I did to do it, and then we can do our own. I did a couple of things. I tried a couple of things, and I thought, right, I'll find the best way for you guys, and then way nearly went. And then I'll show you the way I did it, okay? And then I show you the way that you don't do it. I found that I was messing about trying to get it on here, and I just it didn't work with my head very well at all. So this is what I did to change it. I've got a pencil or a pen. Just bear in mind that you might be using this, so if you can see it, the pencil mark, is that a good thing? Or is it a bad thing? You know, so think about it. Or do you want it waterproof with the ink? So let's just draw a shape. Okay. Bear in mind, we're looking at the tree of life, but it doesn't have to be that shape. So let's look at that shape. Okay. And then we'll go with, we'll just do that then. Like that. Okay. Can you see that? Yeah. You all okay with that? Is anyone bored? Is anyone bored with this yet? Doing this? Tough. No, if you are, you need to tell me. Right. So, I have got a French curve. And oh, for crying out loud, a French curve. Now that's brilliant, because what you can do with a French curve is set a curve. If you haven't got one of them, Diane Reevely's journal block is amazing. I use that as well. But if you get a set of rulers with a French curve in, you know, a flexible French curve, a flexible curve as well, you can set your own. Now, this is hopefully fast tack glue that isn't coming out very well. So I thought I did what I did with the paint, and I put it, How long I'm going to be here forever doing this? Let me get a pen. Driving me nuts already. Oh, yeah. So excited to do this. I really was. I've been like a kid because I just love doing this. Anyway, so I've got a pin, ruddy pin. Um, I found that trying to put a puddle of glue, oh, there we go, a puddle of glue on the table to use was a good idea, but not for the outside because it kept messing about with on it. I was like, no, I'm not messing about with that. It kept sort of like um, pinging off because I hadn't put enough glue on it. So try and bend your paper and then just go with it. Hold it down a little bit. You don't need to go mad. Then go. Now, if you're using quite strong card, your weight won't put it down. Yes. Well, in the kit, Glynis, that I've put on, the kit actually has all the shapes for quilling, and I think it's 13 quid, and it's got everything in it. It's got the tools, it's got the guides, it's got patterns, you name it, and it's got 900 pieces of 5 mil paper. I've actually just bought some 3 mil because I like it a little bit smaller, but I'll find now because I've let mine go a little bit tacky, it grabs pretty quick. I do like this glue from Penta. It's really good. You have got time to move it though. Can you see? It's not perfect. I don't care. I really do not give a toss because that's not what it's about. I'm just wrong tweezers. Where's my other one's gone with black? My other Phil Martin ones. Yeah, I love these. I love these. These are so cool from Phil Martin. But oh my god, you could pierce somebody's ears with these. They're that sharp. See how it's come undone? So just keep fiddling and then let it go off. There, like, sorry, my fat sausages are in way. But I've just got that shape right, and that's a guideline. If you don't want that, don't do it. But I will say it's a very good way of creating that one there. Is everyone all right so far? Is everyone enjoying it? Are you sure? This is lesson 3 of Klimt, and I thought the next artist could be. See, I've done it again. Based on Rennie McIntosh, because I think people. It's very similar. Raina, hello, darling. Oh, brilliant. Right. So let that go off. Now, let's look at Klimt's tree. Okay. And the reason they're saying that is because it's nice to be sort of directed with it, but not to the point where that's all you can see. So if I can. Oh, I'll do it this way. Okay. So if we look at the tree, okay, it curves and then curves off and curves round, and there's little swiggly bits in it. So if we look at this, perhaps you can see. So the little swiggly bits, can you see here? I've done these like little. Well, they're like look like little eyes, but there's an eye in them, and it's based on Egyptian art. But I've done them with a contour pen, like a relief. but you can just see there's like tighter ones, bigger ones, but they do flow. And you can see how that flows better than that. So people just think, oh, do a squiggle. No, it that's why these spills work so well, that you can get everything you want. So the spiral shape, I mean, because the spiral shape is incredibly difficult to get it nice. Now, when you're doing this on your main one, what you could do is paint the underneath a different colour, which is, I mean, don't forget, this is all homework for you, but I want it on white so you could see. So I start to get my spills and I think, right, okay, that looks quite nice there. I'm not putting it in yet. And then that can fit there. But let's have a look at another one. So does that want to fit there, or does that want to, and I think that needs to come off there. And that's higher, which it don't matter. Does it need to be up here and coming off there, bending that way with that one? Just mess about with them. If you want a circle, boom, hit the room. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. If you want a certain shape, use your circle things. So what you can do is do all that tidy, tidy, tidy on your quilling tool, and then just think, right, I want it pretty tight, pull it tight. This has been messed about, this one, so it looks a bit crap, but, and then what you do is put it in, oh, for crying out loud, put it in your, what you call it, pull it tight, do that again, keep it there, and then let it spiral out. This isn't big enough. The quilling ones have a great shape. Let it spill out like that, and you know it fits in there. Drop a glue, but that's a bit big for me. That's a bit big for me. So if I put it there and show you, can you see it's quite dense, but it'd work. This is how it'd work. I'd pull it out and then pull that. That's better for me. So much better. That shape. So I'll see what that looks like. And don't forget, when you're doing this, you can change it as much as you want. So look, that's too, I've decided that's too high. It's interfering. I'm not having anything interfering. Oh, here's the one I did. Right, and this is like, so might be down here. See, like that. Like it? Right, Jenny, let me show you what quilling is. Dead easy. On that kit I've just shown you on the link, it is an affiliate link. I'm not going to fib. Quilling is really easy. Quilling is all about a tiny scroll or spiral. You get a quilling tool, and the quilling tool, I can't show you because it's rubbish camera. I wouldn't believe how dear it was either. Right, it's got a little older slit in it. So if I show you on drawing, I'll show you on a drawing, my love. So it's got like this from the top looking down. It's got a big, it's like split. It's like a camel's foot, yeah? So what happens is, right, the paper, I knew it'd be that because I've got it there, slips in there. Okay, the paper comes in there, and I just bend it, or you can have it flush, and then I tend to wrap to catch it in, and you wrap and wrap and wrap. So I do want to show you, it's really easy. And in that little kit You've even got the tiny like rotary cutters that rotary ones that let you show how to do it. Right. Okay. Can you see that? I know the camera's not going to focus now, is it? Can't afford a camera. I'm not buying any. Do you know what? Since I bought this one, it's gone up like 5 or 6 times, and it's gone up like at least 50 quid. So I've just can't see. I've just put that round there. Can you see? And all I'm doing is I've gone back on myself, because that means you're sort of catching it straight away. And you could be dead neat with it. Oh no, it doesn't matter. You probably know how to do this. Now, it's up to the individual what they do, but I quite like them tight like that sometimes. But if you let it go, if you hold it there for a bit, you get a really tight spiral, which I love. But if you let it ease it out like this, you can get some spectacular shapes. Now, the quilling part of it, you can make everything with it. It's beautiful. So if I wanted to do, say, I want to do a shape, when I've done the spiral, all I need to do is find out what shape I want to do, like a square, triangle, and I just nick it. So I'll try it again to show you. So I do that, roll it up with my hands, not tight now this time, let it go, and I'll just squeeze the edges, and I should really glue it, but squeeze the edges like that. Glue it down and you've got an eye shape. So it's all about how you glue. I'll put that one on there because that's pretty good. So it's all about the shape. So you've got glue to help it stay that way on the edge. Now, depending on what shape you do, I could bring that out and make it more like that, or bring it and really pinch it. And I'm pulling it now to get it to make a flame. Or let's go for another shape. Okay, so we've got this now as a teardrop, and I would cut that off later. I'm now going to do with it's not good, this, is it? Let me move this over. I've got, there we go. I've got a quilling, a shape. This shape is like a paisley. Should have done it a bit bigger. And then we've got a teardrop, and then a petal shape. We can pull it rounder and do a lotus. So all those shapes together, and they all go in here. So Jenna, honestly, you don't need a quilling tool. It is easier, but the chopstick is very fine at the end. And all I do with a chopstick, and if I'm using card, you've really got to bend it. You've got to break the fibres in it. This is really thick card. I think it's got to be at least 250, something like that. The only thing with this is it's hard to do it straight away like that. Can you see? So what you do for this is, don't hurt your fingers, is break it. Okay, so break it. And by doing this, I am really, you can do it with scissors as well, and you can hear it. It's breaking the fibres. So this is only if you're using very strong card. You can even go in with tweezers, look, and start it off with tweezers, Jenna. Now, I taught this in school, so we didn't have anything. So can you see how neat that is? Yep, a skewer, anything. Pair of tweezers. Here's another one, a pen lid here, right? With thinner paper. Let me get a bit of thinner paper, right? You can hold it there, but bear in mind you're going to get a different thickness. You can pull that off, and you can twist it, and then keep going with it, and you've got like a an oval shape just by allowing, let me show you what I mean, the shape of the actual, you see, it allows you to get a different shape. So I'm really, this is just, I tell you what, you go on forever with this once you get into your quilling, honestly. But I don't always want to do it. Sometimes I see quilling and I'm like, no, it's not for me. And the only reason for that is because when I've seen it, it's very chocolate box and it's beautiful, but it's not for me. So, you know, I don't want to put anybody off when I say that, but it's just a little bit not for me. And I like to use these things, but in a contemporary way, which is what we're doing hopefully now. So I've got a bit of glue in there now. Or you're getting all my tips and tricks. My Patreons are going to get a separate video with all sorts of things for this. So I'm looking forward to that. Or you could put that there like Jodie does with it, glue on her hand, and just feed that in there like that if you wish. Don't particularly like that shape, but I can pull it across like that. I don't like that there, so I'm going to bend it out. So we've got these now. I'm not going to waste that, so I'm just going to do that. Or what you could do is stamp all over it before you go in. The background, stamp all over the background with gold on top of your swirly bits, and you get some great shapes. Now I'm going to use that eyeball, I think. So I'm going to just take that edge there, and all I've done is, if I can show you right, I've done it like that, but if I just go like that, I'm starting to get the eyeball, and then I'll pull it back down. So this is where those reversey ones are good. Yep, cocktail sticks, Emma, absolutely amazing. Just you've all got it. You've all got it. Oh, if I'd only be accredited, you could get your disc. You could. You have got. You have. I've made you a beautiful little certificate that you have been educated and been delivered a piece of work, scheme of work, sorry, equivalent to the standards of AQA and EdExcel. So this would be how you officially would get a GCSE. So, right, a little bit more in there, or do we leave it? I'll see. Okay, I might only want a little bit of a wiggle. And nothing, maybe that'll be better. There, that one there. See? Yeah, I think that'll be better. Rip it off. And I want a bit of glue on the edge. So perfect. There's the eye. Now, what do you do if you've got all these different colours? You know your waxes? Get your waxes on them. I've got my waxes ready. So, any colour you want. I have got a few, but I want one that shows up for you. So, I've got some. Oh, too fast. I've got a feeling that this might last for a long time. Me doing this, not just. See, it's not showing up that well, but it will do when they're tighter. Show you what I mean. Let me get a bit more on there. There we go. You can see on the smell of that. Do, should you? That's not very good, is it, smelling that? But I like it. I love it. Right, so we've got that one, and there is a lighter version. It might help you to see it. And this is a like a chameleon or chameleon. These are pent art too. Now, if I just bring them up to show you, and you see the gold on the top, and then you burnish it in, and that one's got the interference colour on it, so it's got like a glisten. And these do look really good on black because the black will show it up. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll get a bit of that copper one again because it's. Now you can do it before you set your spirals. You can do it before you do your spirals, and you can just do it on your page. You know, you get your just watch no finger cut. So you can rub it in and get it like that, or you can go and do it before you actually curl. Just be very careful. Maybe use a sponge or something, or something to knock your fingers, because paper cuts are awful. So then what you can do is, let's see, we'll put that in there. Just be mindful though that if you've done this and you've got, oh, it won't fit in this, will it? You've got this, see, it's too thick for it, but never mind. On your quilling tool, it might transfer to white paper. You see, colours it. So the only problem with that is it is a little bit messy, but there's nothing to stop you dabbing it before you glue it down. And you can see it's now all gold on the top. So while we're doing that, you could just put that inside there that way, and it's got a gold edge, right? Or put it down. Yes. Now you get it on there like that, and then get an old. Don't get your new one. This is an old one. I'm not using the Cool Cats one. And then I'm just going to lift it up like that. And then I'm going to get a piece of paper, and I'll show you. And then it goes down. Press it. I think another piece of paper helps here. But I've just moved that, so I know it's smudged, but don't care. See, it's quite thick, isn't it? So that's better. So I think you're being very, very thingy by doing it like this. So now all I've got to do to change it is twist that back. And I've got another one. I quite like it when it's second and third, fourth generation. I think that's quite thick for it. So maybe water with that. A little bit of water will thin it down. Got any questions? Oh yeah, I've done all that, Karen. I just forget to do it when I'm working. I just throw it down. So, right, come on, give us a mark out of 10 for the ideas you've got so far. And I mean an honest one. If you think it's a bit boring, I am very open to people telling me stuff. But if you just say it's crap without telling me why, then I'm not your friend, because that's not good. If you tell me it's crap and give me a really good reason, then I really respect you. But don't come at me with the good old should do this and you should do that without a reason, okay? Because I'm not going to listen. Right, so we've got, ready? My slider book, where this was one of the original ideas. 10 out of 10, thank you. Well, I'm getting ideas because I'm looking around and seeing stuff. Oh no, Jenny, no, oh no, that's not for me. That's not for me, quilling in that way. I love quilling and I love to see other people's work, but I personally, for me, I can't get it neat enough. Little strips, right? So you get a strip of black and chop into it. You know, these are all offcuts. There's nothing here that's new. Little bits of black, little bits of text paper, ready. Okay, so I'm going to do one. So we did that, and then strips. I've gone for neutral tones. So if you haven't got any neutral tones, I'll show you what I've used. I've used Studio Light because it's a fantastic paper. Look, you've got two colours each side, and it's just you know, and it's the right weight as well. I think they'll have that on the website at Create and Craft. I can't seem to find much on Amazon. It's pretty dear as well. And then we've done our curly twirls. I've shown you how to do that several ways. I've done split, not split, spills. Oh, for crying out loud. 20 out of 10, Jackie. Well. Oh, 9.9 out of 10, as can always expect, and see what happens. Oh, cheek. Right, so these are spills, paper spills. So you can do a bit spiraling with that if you wish. I've used a chopstick, a hair stick, a quilling tool, a pair of tweezers, which are just the same, getting it inside. And then I've used different thicknesses of paper. So that's what we've done with that. Then I went one step further and I did little drawing on paper first and cutting it. Absolutely, that's the next one is wire coils, and you can get. I've got a coiling kit upstairs ready that makes it. It's like a little framework from when I was doing my jewelry with wire work, wire weaving, chainmail. So here I've got paper strips. And then paper strips on paper strips. You know, when you've been saving all those crappy papers, well, this is when you use it. And then the good old stamping on it, which I thought was a bit of a revelation for me because it was only because it fell in paint. You know how my stuff works. And then it went on to be working three-dimensionally, but not in a traditional style. I know traditionalists will probably be throwing up looking at this because that's not what you're supposed to do with it. But if you see then this, I could see, can you see areas just there or just there where that would fit in beautifully and give it even more sort of, what's that word, interest. Oh, Dawn, that sounds wonderful. don't do your partner. They might not like it, or the dog. They can be a bit iffy about quilling on them. So there we've got that. I'm showing you the papers I'm using, which is sort of old gold and a beige. And these are all offcuts that I use, and I've got some paint. So how do we transfer all that we've just done into a piece of work? Well, I think what we need to do is think about the tree of life. So the tree of life basically has this wonderful shape, and it's the shape is unique. I'm not going to draw it on there, I'll draw it on this here. The shape is unique. It's much more than I thought it was. Seriously, it's much more than I thought it was. And it is very much a spiral. Okay, now that's okay. If you're okay with that, but I still think I'm going to get some ink to show you the difference. Stamping gives, with these quills, a bit too dry, that paint. To me, it gives you a much better roundness to it. And I think, to me, that's the way to go. So what I'm going to do is, because it's thick, what's happening is it's being gloopy. So I'm going to get the cloth for it, get rid of it. But I'm going to scrape it actually. Give it a bit of good old skinny. And I'm going to, oh, good old skinny. So I'm going to use some paint now. No, thin paint, not thick, thin. So that's too dry for me to use at the moment. So just bear with me. Don't worry. Honestly, I'm a doctor. No, I'm not. I'm joking. Don't. I'm not a doctor. Behave. Why did you say that? Silly. Right. I'm gonna get a bit of paint. Oh, there's the light on. That'll do me. I'll do me lovely. So I've got the lighter one, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. And you can use like a juicy ink pad, which I haven't got down here, a runny ink, which I have got there. And I don't mean extra runny, I just mean a fluid. So I'm using what we call heavy body. So if I use this one, quinacridone fluid, I'm going to get a different look. Let me show you. It's much thinner, and I don't think it'll be as gloopy. So let me get a new one because I've not got any fingers left. Right, let's try that. Right, so hopefully, see how that's fat. Oh, yes. So test your products, which is best. Oh yeah, look at that. Fire, jeez. Oh, see what I mean? Better. So the more fluid, the better it is. So what I'm going to do, so I remember, is I'm going to write it on here. This is my testing page. I like the fact that I've got a big end on it, because I can just like that. Right. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Let's put a couple here, and we'll do. Oh, why have I put my elbow in? Look. Oh, yes. And I'm not squidging middle down. There I am. So, oh, I love it. But any shapes you want, squares, circles, you can use this method. So we've got quinacridone, which is more of a fluid, and I'll do it on here now just to show you. So, and the one I did when I was doing this prep was really just an ink. Let me do. See how much nicer that is. Right. So if you've got thick paint and you want to sort of change that, a bit of water is your best thing, but not a lot. What you don't want to do is change all the molecules in it. You know, you don't want it to become that dilute that it's really runny. Although it will work, I just, you know. So get your own work together. Hey, that's good to hear. That's all I want to know. You know, if you're going to go away and do some on it, I am over the moon. So let's get a piece started, okay? I'm going to use, I could use white paper, I could use coloured paper, but the main thing is to get that flow going. Okay, so I am going to start with maybe a very light paper for you, but maybe coloured, even so, coloured. So we've got that there. Oh, I'm going to have to do white, I think, so you can see, and then I'm not messing it up. But you could do the opposite, if you know what I mean. You could go light and dark. So on dark and dark on light. So what I've got is a circle. Maybe should we try a circle? What a great idea. A circle. Okay, I've got a clean white circle. I have got a little bit bits and bobs to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is get myself my first curve in. Now I'm going to use the ones I've already used. Okay, so I've got a long doofah. So putting some glue out because I want to try and paint underneath this. Now you could paint underneath it, or what you could do is just create one and then cut the shape out and put the shape on top. So I'm doing all of that, and I'm just going to go off, let that stick like that. Don't think I've got enough glue on. So what I'm doing is looking at the tree now. Okay, so we've got the tree shape. Well, not the tree shape, but you know what I mean. So I've got another one like that. And I'm just making the shape of the trunk. Get me? I'm just putting a little twist into it. And then I'll show you what I do. So put the trunk down, that's gluing nicely. And if you've got, like here, I want to put in a little bit of just get one side stuck and then glue. Now, it might be that you've got better glue, which is cool. So this is just a try out. Quite like that shape, but I prefer that shape. See what I mean? If I'm going to do this now, then I can't see a blooming thing. The light's gone now. It's black, pitch black in here, sort of. I think I need a super glue, not super glue, a thick glue for this. Gloopy glue. I do need a gloopy glue because this isn't. Well, it's excellent glue, but I think what it is I'm asking it to do something it wasn't made to do, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to pull it like that. Let it sort of sit. If you let it sit how it wants, less likely of it undoing. Now bear in mind, I'm showing you how we can change all this. But this is more of a 3D version. I used to always make sure that when I was teaching a class, it was painting, drawing, 3D, and even sculpture. And this, this is paper sculpture. And then we used to have like low relief where it'd be very low, but still sculpted. So I've got these here. That looks well dodgy, but that one's quite nice. So I've got that one. And if I look at the trees always seem to be Now, look at that. Don't like that. That's better. And just a bit big for it, but by that I mean it's a lot taller, you know, but it really don't matter because this is your tryout for whatever you want to do. So I've got another one here. I've just got to make sure that it fits. Now I've done glue on both sides, so that's better. Now I don't like that bit there because it looks rough. So that's the rain. Oh, would you believe it's raining in Manchester now? What about that? Eh? Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it? These are the back to front ones. I can't use them. Can't find my black ones. They're here somewhere underneath all this mess. It is fiddly, this, but it does really work nicely when you've got proper glue. Absolutely. Absolutely. What a great idea. You know, make a low relief with glue. Absolutely. You're getting it. You're getting it. Right. So we've got this. We're going on. Could use fatter ones now. They're a bit big, but the way you get over that is tighten them up a bit. Oh, these will do. I'm just messing at the moment because what I don't want to do is be too constricted with my ideas. I want this to be part of it, but I don't want it to be the main element. I've got so many other ideas that to create a piece of work that I don't want to just sit there and do one. Right, what's up with this now? Oh, for crying out loud. I'm getting annoyed. I was so excited to do this, and now the all's bunged up. Come on. I might have to abandon this. I'll finish it, but yeah, it's really bunged up, this. Right, so basically what you do is you go along and you fill this up, okay? So I'll pretend that I'm doing it now. So you get your curlies, you know, get your curlies on, see where you need them. I think they probably sit better if they come like that. Do you get me? And then bring them out. Not too sure about that one. Let me just see. No, I love this idea of. All right, okay. So we're getting branches that way. Don't think that works there. I think if I'm right, it's going to work better there. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to work there. So have a play with your work. That's it. No, no. Right, I like that. I like that, but it needs another one. You see what I mean about playing with it? Really get to, and then we could have another one coming off here, glued. I'm really going to play with that tree to get it done. I bet that was good. Yeah, it does, Emma. It really does take time. And don't just thought, oh, I can't do this. I don't like it. You know, that's great. it's not, you don't like it because it's not finished. So what we're doing is we're building up that tree image, and three-dimensionally to get this feel and then this feel. I haven't got all, I mean, I will show the other videos to my Patreons, but you know, we've got this wonderful, let me just chop that off to show you. Glue that down and then glue that down, and then I love that sort of style. So we've got the tree. With this one, you could have it coming off if you want. But now I want to do a little bit more on the other one because I think it's got legs. So I want a three-dimensional tree built like that for your own work. And then we're going to do the pattern from the tree. Now I could use this and have it that way, which might be a great idea. Like it's a section of the spiral, or I could just, no, I'll go with this one and then you can see it. Okay. Right, okay, so I'm going to start. If you've got a guillotine, great. If you haven't, it really doesn't matter. Just use your scissors or a knife. And I've got these pieces that I've cut before. So I'm going with these neutrals because I think they're going to be really cool. And then I did have a set of three. There we go. 1, 2, 3. So you go, ah! But yeah, honestly. And then we've got this one, which is that one. And a little bit of black. Okay, so we're just going to get a collage done with this. And first collage we're going to do, it's going to, well, this one is going to be a collage that we can then add our bits and bobs to. So, oh, t-shirt, bit of spit. Spit gets everything off, doesn't it? Right, so I'm looking at that now, and I'm just going to go 1 and 2. Don't even care. So we've got that and that. So then I've got the brown one. Two. I've done 3. That's poor Withers. Look at that. Right, so get rid of that one. I'm going to get rid of the edges actually because it's hard to do. But I do keep him. Keep in paper. I'll keep that one and that one for layering. So here what I'm going to do is right, okay, that looks cracking. Not, oh, it's that one when I cut with my scissors. Right, so we've got those, and those, like that. Now, couple of strips. I'm going to cut these to match. I'm only doing 1 or 2 because I always do this and then I don't need that many. And I've got some black strips that I cut before. So quite thin, thick and thin, spirals, you name it. Right, okay, so we're going to go for it. You can use your shredder for this, Karen. Carol, you can use your shredder for this. If you've got a shredding machine. Yeah, it's a good tool for using. Right, so let's get that. I'm going to use, not using that glue because I'll throw it through the roof if I'm not careful. So I'm going to use a dry glue so I don't get, what I don't want is glue everywhere. You know, I do, don't you know? I've got a little glue stick here. I bought this the other week. It was great from Highlight Crafts. And if you want anything from there, don't forget you put Moodle 10 and you get 10% off anything. Way. So we've got our paper. Okay, I've got some of the quinacridone. I'm going to use a little bit of the gold, even though it's quite thick, I know, but I'm just going to add a tiny bit of water to it. So this is the bright gold. Okay, there is a big difference between that and the other one. I'm going to put some water on it. I'm going to give it a good mix so it becomes quite fluid, but you do have to give it a really good mix because it's not made to have this amount of water in. It's made to be thick. So there we go. There's a bit of tea towel on. I've got a t-shirt. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Right. So I'm getting a curl, one that I like, or I'm making one. Too thin. Where's the white one gone? Where's the white piece gone? That was a good one, that. Really good one. I had the big white coil. Not used the spills yet, but I can't, honestly, I can't do it all in one lesson. It's crazy because I just can't. So I'm using that. I'm adding curls all over. Sorry you can't see them. So get some big ones on like this. Change direction. So we've got that one. Let's get this one on, which is a tighter version. Who'd have thought of that? Stamping, eh? Wonder if anyone else has been stamping with the quilling. Saw it first, did ya? Bet you didn't. Now this is the background, don't forget. So go for it. And you see what I mean about having a thicker paper? I'm actually literally just dampening the paint onto the paper. So this is going to be the background, okay? So if you want it finer and neater, then don't do it this way. If you want it neater, do it, you know, your way. And there's a couple of these which I think might work really well. But it's finer paper, so I'm wondering whether I should just do this. That's better. So I've just undone one of them. You're going to have someone say, oh, I've been doing that years. Great. Great that you've been doing it years and it's took me a while longer to suss it. So well done. Oh. Right, okay, so I've got all the spirals done. Absolutely. There you go, Emma. There you go. Exactly. Exactly. So I've still got my paint here. What time is it? No way! Oh, right. So I better hurry up, guys. Sorry about this. Right, I'm going to get my bits and bobs and I'm going to start to put them on. But you probably won't see me finish because I know lots of people do stuff on Friday. I don't want to, even though I've been doing it longest. Right, so I've got my bits and bobs. I've got dry glue stick and I'm just going to be quite random. So, oh, never mind. Glynis, never mind our Glynis. It'd probably be better later when you can take it in. So, I'm going to leave that to last. Put that there. Right, okay. So, now, this text paper I bought when I was with Kate, and it was a little shop in Retford. It was brilliant. Seen Kate for ages. I do miss her. Well, she's dead busy now. So I'm just going to pile that on there. I'll turn it around now, and I'm going to do that on purpose, because it makes a huge difference. I'm not looking at it one way then. Okay, so now don't forget you could use circles as well. I'm only using one, but only because I've just took too long. So I'm well aware that that isn't a good thing. Oh, look at that. That's nice, isn't it? Look at that. A bit gold on the brown. Who'd have thought it? You've got to dry. Okay, so don't matter how smudge that because it's don't matter that smudged it because it's really in the background, so I don't have a problem with it. Bit pink and brown are beautiful. Pink and teal. And this is all subjective because you might not want it like this, and that's cool as well. Oh, fringe job. Right, so we've got our basic now, which is quite boring. But don't forget, we've got these. So the next thing is we get our text paper that I've got left, which is these. And I'm just going to do it by eye. I'll do one with cubes on and then one with diamonds. Not diamonds, triangles. Right, plenty now. Look at this. I always do that. I only used a tiny bit of paper though. I'm trying to keep within a shape. Oh, there's my age, 57. Hey, 57. Oh, geez. Right. So, small ones. And if you see how he does it, he does like, it comes down in a sequence like that. I'm going to put that on there because it looks a bit odd. So it's a smaller version, but I like that. That's rubbish. Get off. Having that like that. Right, quite like that. So we've got some textures going on. I've got. I'm really conscious that what I don't want to do is just add and add and add and then find out it looks like a dog's dinner. Do you know what I mean? I just don't want that, but it looks like that at the moment. So, but it will get better. Don't like that. Small ones at the bottom. Right, okay, so we've got that. Now, where's my bits gone? That's one. That's one. Oh, that frightened me, that. So I'm going to put glue on all of it. I like that there. Needs to be that way. This is pure pattern now. Absolute pure pattern. So those of you who love colouring in, you're going to have a whale of a time. I want that stick. So we've got 3 different. You're sticking it to your finger, you daft woman. There. So there, on there. Got a lot going on there. I'm really happy with it. And I think what I need now is I don't want too much of that pink and green because it's just a flash of colour. If I had gold, it'd be better, but just going to use a little bit of the black strip. She says as she glues it all. This is going to be the bit that, as we say, anchors it really, because at the moment and it's plus it's the thirds of a third, you know, the golden section. I'm going to take that off there because I don't like it being so big. I don't want it to be to the ends. You know, if you don't want to do that, masking tape's great for it because you can just See, a bit of gold paper or copper paper would be brilliant. So we get it like that. We've got another bit if we wish, just to thicken it. Yeah, really over the top now. Yeah. Right. And just bring it together. Don't know if I like that. Oh. There we go. It's better. A bit more. That's it. Right. So I'm finished with it. Believe it or not. Yeah, as Emma says, that's why that's on top. You'd have to do it so you've got a big like concertina ring on it or whatever you want. Right, I'm just going to quickly do this because I've got to go on. It's not, it's a bit late, isn't it? Blooming it, 2 hours. So what I'm going to do is quite simple. I'm going to do, in fact, I'll have to leave it now. I think it's a bit unfair. People have got things to do. So what I would do now is I would get my pen and just work into it. So what do I mean by that? Well, I haven't got, if you look at this now, I haven't got a lot of, how to say, definition. So give it a bit of definition. You could use a pencil or a pen. And I'm in a house full of products and I can't find a pen that's suitable, but that's right for me, isn't it? Oh, be in the handbag. I've got one in the handbag. Yeah, right. So this is a brush which will give me a thicker tip. So I'm just going to go like that, just to give it some definition. It looks, bear with me, it looks really rubbish, but it won't. So around here, a black line, and it gives it that edge. Don't forget to use the spaces. The spaces that between the shapes are really important. Not too many of them because it will really overpower it, but because it's a really thick pen, it's a brush nib. So Now what I'm doing is outlining the shapes that I'm going to be working on. If you wanted to leave it without outlines, that's good as well. And then if you wanted to do just collage, that's good. You could use just got put it on before I go. You know, just before I go, I'll show you what I'm going to add to it because of the browns and stuff and the golds of Klimt uses. So I've got this, which is from the range. I put that there because I like that. I don't like that. So just chopping that off. I'll chop that off in a minute. So it's got a really bright shine to it. What I might do is just not there. Might have to. I was just going to slip that in underneath, but like that. Like that. So I've got some metallic on it, not too much. I end up doing it like it's going out of fashion, like as my mum said, dog's dinner. So I'm just going to put on. Now this is notoriously difficult for sticking and staying. So I'm just going to put that there, and then I'm going to try with a finer pen. And I'm going to outline that. Dreaming about handbags last night. It was crazy. Handbags. Wow. Really crazy. Right. So I'm going to leave it because I'm going to get carried away, and I can do that in my own time without messing with yous. And I'm looking at it now and thinking it could be that I need to make another one that's a lot finer. And that's a really nice starting point for you. So you could say, okay, this is my challenge. My challenge is I'm going to create another one, but I'm going to put less on it. And maybe the idea is a good one. I like to give you some good ideas, is look at one area and copy that out. So I've picked this area, but you see, I make that bigger. So I maybe work on that. So this is the homework. So we start with, it's not, I'll use this. We can do the tree of life. It's not stuck, look at that. It's not stuck. So tree of life, where we're using swirls. We can use swirls. Make yourself a little copybook. Can you see how I'm going to go around them in gold and then on the strips as well? Or you can do an area across it, which would be really beautiful. And that's what I'm going to aim for, a strip over it, over all of it. You do it last. You can paint it out if you wish, but I'm going to do a strip over it coming down here with the spirals, or I can just put the spirals on top coming down in that sort of pattern. Get me? So Yeah, see you Monday, Karen. And I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been a bit of a 2D, 3D reconstruct, deconstruct sort of thing, where we look at the influences and patterns. So we've gone from this, yeah, into three-dimensional ideas. So it's development. And, you know, as I said, a part of this dress could be then done. I found some little crowns, gold crowns that sort of look like that. And I just think that would be like a very orthodox picture. So we're developing, using quilling as a technique, using the shapes, using mixed media, and using papers cut up into strips and odds and ends, odds and sods. Now, if you've not got any of those colours, don't go out and buy any, please. I'm not interested in doing stuff like that. Paint out some gold papers. Oh, that looks nice on there, doesn't it? Like that in the background. See? And don't forget, you can always, once you've done it, scan it in and then, you know, just use the background. So I'm going to carry on with this. I will see you next Friday when we get to lesson 4. You've covered maybe what would be 5-6 weeks, what we would do in school. So you're doing really well. Thank you for joining. It means the world. I really do appreciate it. Sorry if you've got to mess around, but it's really not my fault. If you just go to YouTube each time, you'll find me there. And in the meantime, I'm going to be Patreons and I'm going to do some little pictures and bits and bobs and little pieces of videos for you. I hope you've enjoyed that. I really do. Oh, please show me what you do. Stepping out of your comfort zone. Don't be frightened. I'm your safety net. Oh, glad you like it, Raina. We can do the other classes. They're all free this time. They're all free on my website, louwithers.com, and you can go and just do, you know, an hour when you want, or you know, turn me off and on as much as you want. But just remember, it's being inspired by the artist, taking it and making it your own, and not necessarily trying to recreate what they do. It's recreating what they do in your style. And that way you're going to develop your own way. Raina's a really good example. She's been following Dina Wakelet ages and ages and ages. And now I can see that big influence in her. But her faces are amazing. So yeah, keep with it and you'll find your own style and space. And that's, oh, it's amazing. Amazing. And it's hopefully we're all on the journey together, you know, and you can get on and off whenever you want. So thank you. It means the world to have you here, and it means the world that you're actually doing this with me. And you never know. Maybe one day we'll get it as a GCSE, and you can get the certificate at the end, the real one. All right. Take care, guys. I will see you on Monday, Karen. If you fancy it and you're in Manchester, the monastery, 11 well 2. And if not, we've on Thursday, 11 well 3. That's UFOs at the monastery. And then Friday, lesson here. I think I've got that right. All right. Oh, I just slapped myself on the face. Bye.